very briefly, even if the topic is not so easy, but I think at least we have a rough idea of what it is. For the ones who are not already engaged in some of the operational groups, of course, Climed-Fruit is built on the previous experience of partners in operational groups. But as Gianni introduced it, operational groups have been defined in detail by the last rural development plan as an opportunity financed through the one of the measures of the rural development plan as a sort of a place for co-innovation. So this that you can read on the slide is the official definition from the CAP network, but I would like to stress only a couple of words. So it's a group of people, of practitioners. Practitioners is a word that includes farmers, advisors, the ones who are selling or developing machinery, the ones who are selling or developing inputs, or even civil society, or even association, unions, and who are somehow willing to cooperate and to co-create some practical solution for a common problem in agriculture, in forestry, and in rural community. Just a specification, when we talk about innovation, is not only technical innovation, could be also social innovation, or more often a combination of the two. Normally, it has been, I mean, the calls for this kind of initiatives have been open in the majority of the member states, but not in all of them. But probably with the new entry into force of the rural development plan, in all the countries and regions, it will be possible to apply for it. Of course, the details and the amount of money and the regulations can change from country to country. So I will just give a brief introduction to the general concept and looking at it from the Italian perspective, because we have been involved in the Italian ones, but certain things could be really different in other member states. So how to start an operational group? I think the main point is to identify a problem that should be acknowledged, perceived, and felt as urgent by a group of farmers. And also this group of farmers should be willing to cooperate. It's not given for granted. I think it should be assessed quite in advance, because then the work is going on for 2, 3, 4 years. So there should be this will to cooperate, and also the open mind in sufficient to accept also the opinions of the others. What is needed as well is to identify already from the start some potential solution or some solution that have been applied in other places and that could become interesting for the place where we operate, where the group is set up. But don't consider that even if three-year times can seem quite long, normally for the implementation, adaptation, evaluation of an innovation is a really short time. So you should start when you think there are already pieces of the solution already available somewhere, in order to be able to pick them up immediately and try them out since the first year. The other thing I would like to highlight, maybe it's a Italian perspective, but I'm afraid talking with colleagues also in Climed-Fruit is not only a problem with the Italian situation. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is something that could be overwhelming if you don't consider it from the beginning in terms of time, due time to be allocated, and time means resources. So somebody in the group who can dedicate to the bureaucracy and administration enough time to manage it. Otherwise, it's really becoming overwhelming, and often is really putting at risk the participation of farmers. Another advice I feel that could be, I hope could be useful, is just to look around if there is somebody somewhere who already had the same problem, because the best way to start is to look at how somebody else has already tackled the issue. So this is the starting. Looking at the benefit, not to be, I don't want to scare the people. I think if you manage to work for 3, 4 years together with other people and complement the knowledge of each other, you really manage to end up with a site-specific solution. When I say site-specific, it means also specific for the farming system, for the climate, for the size of the farm, or for the rural structure of the agricultural sector. After the operational groups, you have an established or reinforced relationship within the group, maybe not all the one who started it, but it can really allow to go beyond the project and keep on exchanging and keep on open a debate within the group. And it's also a way to learn, a different learning mood, and to acquire an attitude that is not so common among farmers and advisors. And another actor I forgot to mention are the researchers. Of course, in theory, it's a lot of years we are reading about this participatory approach where farmers, advisors, and researchers get together, and manage to work together. But it's not exactly easy not in all situations, of course. So it needs also methodology, it needs times, it needs to build the trust in between each other, and to build a lexicon, to build a communication channel in between the different actors. Another thing I would like to highlight is that even if you work with actors that are in competition with each other, and just for example, one of the operational groups I was running was among wine growers of the same area, and of course they are competing for the market. But at the technical level, I think you have to step beyond competition. I mean, a common problem needs a common solution. Then after that, the competition starts. It's not since the beginning of the understanding the problem. So, wrapping up, consider bureaucracy, administration, and also payment timing, because in many situations, the group has to work and to spend, to invest in technology and in tools, whatever is needed, before getting the payment from the regional government or the national government, depending on the country where you are. And as I said, to work together for 3-4 years requires commitment. I mean, the farmers need to see the benefit. Otherwise, you really risk to lose them. In theory, all the initiatives should start from farmers, from an association of farmers. What was the reality very often started from a university, from a research institute, and then involve the farmers. If we manage to have a different approach since the scratch, I mean, since the beginning, to start from the real problem of the farmers, it's probably facilitating the delivery of something that is used afterwards. But to keep the attention and the commitment for several years of the farmers who are very busy in many other things is not something really easy. So also the delivery of outcome from the project should be planned in order to have every 2-3 months something to tell them, something to, even if it is a preliminary outcome, at least to have something to offer. We have in Climed-Fruit some testimony from farmers who have been or advisors who have been participating or managing some operational groups. For time constraints, I propose to see just one from France, but there are several other ones that you will find, not yet, but in short, you will find also on the project webpage, I think. So I suggest to see one of them, but then if you are looking for more of them, just be patient and you will find them on the web.
Alors, Jean-Amand Pérez, responsable viticole au sein d'un groupe coopératif, donc Vinovali, dans le sud-ouest de la France, qui s'étend sur 3 appellations, l'appellation Cahors, Fronton et Gaillac. Donc, j'ai eu le plaisir de participer donc, au groupe opérationnel Vignoble 2.0, qui était en partenariat donc, avec la Chambre d'agriculture du Tarn, l'IFB, et le groupe bien sûr Vinovali, dans lequel on a travaillé sur la mise en application des nouvelles technologies au vignoble, et notamment sur la connaissance des parcelles via les cartes de vigueur. Alors j'ai été impliqué dans le projet, dans la mise en œuvre opérationnelle, donc, via notamment la connaissance des parcelles et les relations avec les vignerons, avec lesquels on a pu établir des cartes de préconisation grâce à notre expertise sur ce type de logiciel SIG. Donc on a pu valoriser les cartes de vigueur qu'on avait à disposition via l'élaboration de cartes de modulation de dose pour l'épandage des engrais. Voilà, on a permis aussi de faciliter le confort de travail vis-à-vis de l'application par le vigneron et également de permettre d'éventuelles économies d'intrants. Donc le point fort de ce type de projet, c'est la collaboration avec d'autres personnes, voilà, la mise en commun des expertises de chacun et l'application des nouvelles technologies sur le terrain.
Well, short and direct, but I think it is very useful to have the feedback from the practice. So I hope you enjoy, and you, as I said, you can find some other experiences on the web. Thanks a lot.